many people met Joseph Stalin for the first time during the first years of his rule over the Soviet Union, they saw him as a bewitching and attractive man, despite the fact that he was older than most of the generals in the army. He asked them all to be comfortable with him and call him by his first name. Also, he always made time for everyone, even his subordinates, and was completely available to them. And he listened carefully and attractively to everyone's talk, as if he understood the depth of his audience's words and feelings, to such an extent that a young man wrote like this after meeting him once. People who see him once become impatient to see him again, because he creates a special feeling of connection and belonging to his other party. Stalin was sometimes a bit cold and aloof, and this issue drove people around him crazy in the Communist Party. Then after a while, his behavior would return to its normal state. And this made all the attention to him. Part of Stalin's appeal was that he was the epitome and symbol of revolution. He was a very popular person. He was rough and a little rude, and all these characteristics made an ordinary Russian citizen feel close in kinship with him. More than anything, Stalin was good at entertaining others. He loved to organize singing events and funny shows, and with such qualities, it was not surprising that he became the absolute power of the Soviet Union. But after years, and with the passage of time, and as his power increased, he started showing another half of his personality, and those friendly and intimate behaviors were no longer as they seemed. Probably the most famous example in this case, Fate v. Sergei Kirov. Kirov was a powerful member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party that, after the suicide of Stalin's wife in 1932, he became Stalin's closest friend. And Kirov was a very passionate man, and he made friends with others very easily. But the problem was that he was getting a little too popular until in 1934, there were several leaders of various districts who were fed up with Stalin's inappropriate treatment of workers. They went to Kirov to propose a coup against Stalin, and they wanted to bring him to work as the new leader. But he prevented them and went to Stalin and revealed their conspiracy. After that, Stalin also appreciated him at first, but from that moment on, his attitude towards Kirov changed. And Stalin's relationship with Kirov suffered kind of coldness and indifference that was unprecedented. And finally, in December 1934, a gunman assassinated Kirov outside his office. Although no one could attribute this assassination to Stalin, but it was clear who ordered this murder. During the years after this assassination and during the period that is called the Great Purge, Stalin's close friends were arrested and tried one after another. During this period, almost all the high ranks of the army were arrested and tortured to get confessions. And Stalin eagerly listened to the words of the torturers, and he was happy to hear their helplessness and supplication. And little by little, with the passage of time, unusual traits also appeared from him. Stalin, who considered himself the symbol of the working class and was a humble person in appearance, he never allowed anyone to praise him in front of people. But down and down, his name and image were displayed everywhere. And newspapers and television programs told heroic stories after his every action. His name and image were even printed on market products, and a myth was made of him equal to the status of divinity, to the extent that in army parades, the airplanes displayed his name in the sky by arranging their positions. He introduced all these things spontaneously, but he himself does not take any action to make these idols. And the truth was that no one would even drink water without his permission and order. But the worst thing that happened among the politicians and the heads of the Soviet army at that time was that they are invited to Stalin's house for dinner or to watch a movie. These parties were apparently warm and sincere banquets among revolutionary comrades. But behind all these stories, there is a full-fledged horror. And Stalin used to spend some time at night drinking alcoholic drinks, but the drinks that were poured into Stalin's glass were much thinner and less effective than the rest of the guests. And he would drink glass after glass with the guests to make them drink more. And while they were getting drunk and passed out, Stalin monitored their words to see which of them smelled of betrayal. And the worst thing happened at the end of the night was when he would turn on the gramophone and give orders to all the men present at the party to dance like women. And seeing this funny scene from the high-ranking country and army officials, he felt empowered, and he takes his control to the highest possible level. Thank you for watching this video. And lastly, watch out for the Stalins in your home life.